Hi everyone, I'm Cory Anotado, the executive producer of Tell Us About Yourself, conversations with game show contestants. Our first season has come to a close, and our host Christian Carrion is taking a well-deserved break. He'll be back in the new year with new episodes of the podcast. Meanwhile, I'll be replaying some of our favorite episodes, giving you a chance to listen again to some of the greatest stories we have from the stars of your favorite game shows, the contestants. We couldn't do this without your help, so we appreciate you listening and supporting the podcast. We also could not have done this without the support of the National Archives of Game Show History at the Strong National Museum of Play. The National Archives of Game Show History at the Strong preserves the history of game shows, from the earliest panel shows and quiz scandals, to the games and puzzles of the 1970s, to the Big Money Network series, and the classic games now in prime time. You can learn more about the archives or the museum itself at their website, museumofplay.org. We would also appreciate if you visited our Patreon page. You can support the podcast for as little as $1 per month. You can check that out and more at patreon.com/packdo. Now, without further ado, here's an encore episode of Tell Us About Yourself, conversations with game show contestants.
Break it down now.
One hand on the buzzer, one hand on the buzzer. D.O. Booze on the fuse. D.O. Booze on the fuse. We came to win this money. We came to win this money. D.O. Booze on the fuse. D.O. Booze on the fuse.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm your real daddy.
Tell us about yourself, would you?
Tell us something about you.
For any new viewers, why don't you tell us again about yourself?
We've met before, but let's meet again. Tell us about yourself.
What else can you tell us about yourself?
Perhaps you'd fill us in again and tell us about yourself.
My name is Obu. I am from Georgia, Gwinnett County to be exact. And what I do for a living, I am an actor, and I also work in the film industry currently. I was on the world-renowned game show Family Feud with Steve Harvey, and this was back in 2016.
Obu, I read an article a couple days ago that said Atlanta is the new Hollywood. In your estimation, as somebody who is firmly entrenched in that area and in that industry, how true does that ring for you?
I would definitely have to agree 1,000%. A lot has changed, and we are now the new hub when it comes to film and entertainment, period. And it's just booming. A lot of people are moving out here. There's so many opportunities going on, but it's kind of crazy. I do have to throw this in there. Like right now, we're actually in a weird time because of the writer strike and actor strike, but hopefully by the grace of God, we can kind of move forward and they can kind of resolve everything. So get it back going and up and running.
And now, are you from Atlanta originally?
No. So originally, well, my family's from Nigeria. I have to say that both parents are from Nigeria. I was actually born in South Orange, New Jersey, but I did grow up in Georgia.
And so it wasn't the entertainment industry that brought you to Georgia.
No. I think, well, the reason why like my parents, they moved down here, I feel, one, to escape the cold. I'm not a big fan of the cold weather, but just new opportunities for us.
Sure, I can understand that. Well, I was wondering if that was the case because I'm from Connecticut originally, and for a while, Connecticut was it felt like it was replacing New York as the hub for pre-taped television. All of a sudden, all these shows, it was Jerry Springer, it was Maury. I think even Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was taping in Connecticut because they were offering all kinds of tax breaks. And as somebody who wanted to work in television his entire life, it was amazing that it felt like all of this was like coming to me. You know, now all of a sudden it's a 45-minute train ride away. So as somebody who's interested in entertainment, as somebody who's wanted to be an actor for a long time, I imagine that you must have felt blessed to all of a sudden have it within arm's reach.
Absolutely, 1,000%. Because it's so funny, like, you know, growing up, when I was younger, the dream locations were only Hollywood, obviously in LA and New York. So the fact that I did have thoughts about moving out there, especially like out west for sure, but we've just been fortunate because everything is kind of transitioned out here. And you were absolutely correct. Like the tax break in Georgia is probably one of the biggest reasons why a lot of filmmakers, like producers and production companies and studios, have been transitioning out here because they get, you know what I'm saying, more money, more bang for their buck.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it benefits everybody. I mean, it brings jobs to the area. It brings tax money into the area. I mean, it's a blessing all around.
I agree. Yeah.
So tell me, Obu, what role game shows, if any, played in your life growing up before you became a contestant on Family Feud? Were you a fan of that type of television?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. That is an excellent question. I would have to say definitely Family Feud. That's obviously a given. I did some research on you, Christian, and I gotta say, man, you are something else. So I would have to throw in the game shows that you were on. I love your confidence. So I would have to say The Price is Right for sure. My mom loved The Price is Right growing up. So we always watched that as a family. And definitely Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for sure. So it's kind of ironic that the game shows that you were on after I did some research on you as well. But those are the main game shows that I thoroughly enjoyed growing up.
Well, I appreciate it. We have that in common because those were the shows that I dreamed of being on growing up. And I talked about it for April Fool's Day. I had somebody interview me and I talked about all my experiences and all that and just, how far back those dreams go. I mean, I was 5 years old holding one of my dad's paintbrushes, pretending it was a microphone and being a game show host. That was, that's how far back that goes for me. How far back does that desire to be an actor go for you?
Wow. I would have to say the first time that it kind of popped in my head, that kind of God gave me, like implanted that vision for me, was probably middle school, early high school, because I was a big fan of, Denzel Washington, and the movie specifically that gave me like, all right, this is what I want to do. That movie was called John Q.
Amazing movie.
Yes.
Amazing
incredible.
movie. Yeah,
Yes,
that was the movie where he was trying to get care for his kid in the hospital, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yes,
Exactly.
amazing movie.
So that was, I would say, like middle school time. I was probably like, what, 11-ish? I can't remember, but like around, like between like 11, 14-ish, I told my mom, I'm like, this is kind of what I want to do. And obviously, like, just being from a Nigerian background, it wasn't an idea, like it wasn't a thing, you know what I'm saying, to have aspirations to be in the entertainment space. But I kept pushing and I kept pushing. And then as I got older, like in high school, I actually got my first taste of theater. So it's kind of funny. I tell this story all the time. So like the first taste that I got in theater, I was a senior, because I was always active, like in sports and all that good stuff. In chorus, I did the choir, show choir. So I was traveling, going different places, singing and stuff like that. But I did my first and last show my senior year of high school, because that was the only slot that I had to fit in for like electives at the time. So I wanted to make sure that I got a small taste of it. And man, Christian, when I tell you, I got the taste that I needed, and it changed everything for me in that moment. It was incredible.
I can relate to that so much because I look back and I credit high school theater, the drama workshop. I credit all of that with developing that confidence that is hard to develop through other avenues when you're that age. You know what I
Right.
mean? When you're from ages like 14 to 17, you're really trying to figure out who you are and how you fit in the world and, you know,
Right.
what you want to be when you grow up. They ask you that all throughout life, but it becomes a more serious answer when you're a teenager, when you're in high school. And I look at that time that I spent, it was 3 years that I spent in theater when I was in high school. Just developing that confidence in my public speaking ability, that confidence in what I thought was my talent and being able to communicate that talent and that desire to other people. So important. Such an important element in that.
Yes, absolutely. Not to cut you off, but man, Christian, when I tell you, you are gifted, my friend. Like everything that you just communicated to me right now, I see. And you literally became a master in that space because when I watched you, I was literally telling my lady, I said, babe, like this guy's incredible. Like I couldn't believe, like I'm just talking about like from your energy, from your presence, like it was, bro, you were exuding confidence, man. And like I was so inspired and I really admire that about you. I know we haven't like met on a personal level, but just from those videos alone, like I'm telling you, bro, like anybody that watches that, I feel like I actually know you just based off of me watching and seeing how you were on those game shows, bro. So kudos to you, my friend.
Well, listen, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, that's I mean, right? From from doing some of the things that you've done in your life, it's a realization of things that I've wanted to do for years and years and years. So it's like when you finally get let out of the gate, and you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I already know how I want to come across. I already know how I want to present myself. I already know, how this is going to go. I know that this is something that I've dreamed of doing. And so it's like success is imminent. You know what I mean? Especially when you're going in there, kind of knowing the game and just knowing how to go about it.
Right, right. No, I definitely agree. And I do believe in the power of speaking life, you know what I'm saying? Like affirmations. So it's like for you just hearing, you know what I'm saying? Like you're taking me into your backstory a little bit as well. It's like you really, really embody the power of manifestation. Because for you to have that dream as a child and then continue to grow in that dream and that vision, it's really, really commendable because a lot, like you said, like a lot of people, they don't really know, like a lot of kids, like when we're younger, we really don't know what we want to do per se. But guess what? I really feel like there's always like a glimpse of what God is really trying to show you. Like I'm very spiritual. So it's God always kind of gives you like that preview of kind of like what's to come. And he always plants that voice in you that like, all right, this is kind of what you start leaning towards. But at the end of the day, you still got to figure it out and you got to just trust the path. You know what I'm saying? And fail forward and eventually you'll get to where you want to go.
Right. That's so funny that you mentioned spirituality. I have been asking this question and I don't know what brings this question out of me in these conversations that I've had recently with other contestants, but the opportunity to get on a show like Family Feud, right, is incredible exposure. Whether you're into game shows or not, the ability to get your face on really the most popular game show in the world with the most popular host, most popular comedian in the world is like incredible. It's an incredible opportunity. And so I've been asking these questions of people who have had similar opportunities. Do you consider, and I think I know the answer, but I'll ask anyway, do you consider opportunities like this to be in the hands of somebody more powerful than you? Do you feel like there's somebody else in control of that sort of painting of your life and like they sort of know what they're doing when they build these opportunities for you?
Absolutely. And the reason why is, I'm gonna be honest, we couldn't have written a better story without the higher power. Like if we wanted, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we understand that to a certain degree, we walk through life, you know what I'm saying, making certain decisions and going through certain opportunities and seeking out certain opportunities. But at the end of the day, no matter where you are, there is a trust factor that that's out of your control. And that definitely played an incredible part for me and my family when we got the opportunity to be on the show. And we just knew, I'm gonna be honest, man, like when we got the call, it was like All right, so let me just give you a quick backstory, okay? If you
Yeah,
don't mind.
sure. Sure. Oh, please, please, please.
So the reason how this whole thing came about, my older brother Olu, his full name is Olumba, but we call him Olu. So he came to me and was like, "Yo, bro, hey man, I think we should audition for Family Feud." I'm like, "Bro, why not?" I said, "Okay, cool." So we got the whole family together. We submitted the application. We also they hit us back saying that we needed to submit a video. So we submitted a video, and we already kind of knew that whatever video that we're gonna submit, it has to be captivating, it has to be enticing, it has to be, lively, because it's high energy, because obviously the ratings are very, very important. That's literally how they, get their numbers.
Sure. And you have to get the casting director's attention. That's the goal.
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
So when we submitted, we were like, okay, we trusted, like, all right, hey, if all else fails, the worst they can say is no, right? If we don't hear back, like, it is what it is. Like, no worries. Like, life still goes on.
Sure.
Christian, when I tell you, so let me give you a time frame. Okay, so 2015, I would say spring going into summer, we submitted, right?
Okay.
We didn't hear anything back from the producers for almost a whole year. And here's the crazy part. So in 2016, my brother randomly gets a call from one of the producers. Christian, this is crazy. We actually forgot that we applied for Family Feud because
it was so long ago. Right.
Correct. Right. So most people are blown away when I tell them that. I'm like, yo, we really forgot, because I said we hadn't heard anything. So we were like, all right, well, we probably didn't get it. So, you know what I'm saying? So we just went back to our regular lives. You know what I'm saying? So when we got the call, we were like taken aback. So Olu got us all on a group call, and we got on the phone with the producers, and they were like, man, we love your family. We want to give you guys an opportunity to come out here. And at this time in 2016, they were actually shooting in Atlanta at the Civic Center at the time, just to give you a time frame with everything. But yeah, they said they loved us. But guess what? Here's the kicker. A lot of people don't know. Well, you might know, but this is just for your audience.
Sure.
Our audience, yeah. So most people think specifically for Family Feud, the way it works, you're not even guaranteed a spot, even when the producers call you. Most people don't know that. Most people most people. So they told us that we still had to audition when we got there. I said, what? I said, what do you mean? In the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, like, I said, okay. We was like, all right, no worries. So our first thought was like, all right, cool, no problem. We were just excited that we got the call. So we huddled up, like my family. And mind you, these are all like my real family, like same mom, same dad, my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
It's 3 boys, 2 girls, obviously from the video and from the show. But
right.
We talked. We were like, all right. So look, we just came up with a game plan. We started prepping. You know what I'm saying? We started playing like the game like multiple times throughout like a day, like throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? Just to sharpen our minds. Like we started, just practicing and just really, really doing like the prep work.
So your family, are they as initiated into that entertainment world as you are, or was there a sort of learning curve in terms of getting them ready to be TV ready contestants? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you. The fortunate part about my family is we all sing and dance and we act. So we were all equipped for
Perfect
the opportunity. Yeah.
Perfect.
By the grace of God. Yeah. It was amazing. Like we've all had, you know what I'm saying, some experience in each one of those areas, even before we came on the show.
That's wonderful. So you were all ready to be on the show even before you were on the show.
Right, exactly.
Right. And I'm thinking about the strategy and having contestants come and audition at the show. And the only thing I can figure is that at the end of the day, they have a good audience. They have a bunch of people that are excited to be there. Right. You know what I mean? And they can serve that sort of dual purpose. They can be really loud and energetic in the audience, and then you get them on the stage and they're good contestants as well.
Yep. You're absolutely correct. So how it went, we were there for 2 days. So the first day we were meeting different families, and mind you, Christian, they're flying families out from all over the world, right? So it was in Atlanta at the time. We were meeting families from LA, Louisiana, just all over, right?
Sure.
And we get there, and the first thing that they tell us is that again, we still had to audition. And mind you, they only choose 4 families a day, like 4 shows a day. They shoot 4 shows a day, right? So
Right.
the first day we were like, okay, we auditioned again. We felt good about it. We had a whole, routine, blah, 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 blah. And I'm gonna share a little insight with you about. So we had our own rendition of a song that we wanted to do. We did our own rendition of Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars, and the producers came to us after we did it. Like, we loved it. The producers loved it, but it was like, hey, so we can't let you do the song because of copyright infringement. So you're gonna have to change your song. And we were like, oh my gosh, are you serious? She was like, yeah, we can't let you do it. Yeah, we don't want to, we don't want lawsuits, anybody coming after us, suing, all that. So we were like, okay. So we said, okay. And we huddled up again. We prayed. We were like, look, we need to come up with a new song literally by tomorrow. Because mind you, this was a Friday and a Saturday. So that Friday night, our whole family had to scrap whatever we had already been practicing on and literally came up with a whole nother song literally the next day. And that's what we sang for the world. That's what the world got to see literally the next day. It was crazy.
Wow. And just in a matter of a day or two, you had a new song ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we literally created a whole new melody, like literally harmonies, everything. And man, the favor of God literally it just worked out. And it was funny because the families that were there before us, like the previous night, they all knew the song choice that we had the night before. So when we came in the next day, they were all looking and we did our new song. They were all like, oh my God. Like, we heard them whispering like, yo, they changed their song. And literally, that's not the song they did yet. So it was just like, yeah, they didn't allow us to do it. So, like, it was just a crazy, unforgettable moment, man. Like, it was just unforgettable.
That's incredible. It created an unforgettable moment for the show as well.
Yeah.
I want to backtrack for just a second.
Yeah,
what
go
did
ahead.
your family do for the audition video? What in your mind made that video dynamic enough that your family got the call back? What stood out?
I think, I'm going to be honest, man. I think it was just the energy and the frequency of just us being in sync. That's what I feel. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of because we knew going into the video that it was going to have to be memorable. And obviously, you kind of do get the upper hand to a certain degree if you do have talents. So it's like, it just kind of makes you, just sets you apart. But not to say, because there's thousands and millions of families that have been on there that have just been incredibly funny, whether it's sense of humor, personality, different things like that. But for our family specifically, I just felt like it was just a genuine connection that we were all in sync together, and just our liveliness and our personalities, from just smiling, you know what I'm saying? Just the vibe and just the overall aura of who we are kind of showed. And I feel like it translated to the producers, and I feel like that's why they really called us back.
I believe that because people pick up on that energy that, if you're having fun, the people watching you will have fun watching. And that right there, that's all you can ask for from a contestant, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And the idea of auditioning through Zoom or on a video, as somebody who's done a few of these shows, that's one of the questions that I get from people who want to get on a game show is like, how do you audition? What's the secret? And I was like, there isn't really a secret. You just, as overplayed as it is, you just kind of have to be yourself. You know what I mean? And you turn it up a little bit, you amp yourself up a bit just because, you're getting ready to be on TV, and that's the kind of personality that TV needs, but there is no real secret to it. You be your dynamic, true, original self and hope that the people watching will latch onto that.
Right. No. You're absolutely right. And it's weird because, well, not really weird, but most people probably feel like if they want to take from what they saw here or what they saw here, but you're right. You're absolutely right. It's really just being your authentic self and allowing and knowing that to be enough. You know what I mean? Because most people, they get insecure or like they're nervous. I mean, the nervousness is still going to be there, but you don't have to change and be anything else other than who God has already created you to be. It's just now bringing that out. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
Confidence, and you know what I'm saying, for the world to see, and however it translates, that's not on you. You know what I'm saying? You've done your part by being who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I've even found in certain situations, you can be nervous and use that nervousness to your advantage. I
Oh yeah.
think that if you own it, if
Hmm.
you say, I'm so nervous, that it's like a release. You know what I mean? Now, all of
Hmm.
a sudden, the nervousness is something that you can talk about. People can relate to it because,
Oh yeah.
everybody gets nervous at some point in their life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think even with the nervousness, this is kind of like one of my philosophies. I think even with the nervousness is important to have because guess what? It brings humility for me. It just reminds you like, man, I'm still human. I still go through certain emotions. I still go through these types of things, you know what I'm saying? That like you said, other people can relate to. So I agree with that 100%.
And not only humility, but in my experience, gratefulness as well. Being
Oh yeah.
grateful even for the opportunity, because again,
Hmm.
we're two people who have wanted to work in this industry, and any opportunity that I get to be near a camera, to be in a studio, to be in front of a casting director, and even just as close to that process as I can get, any opportunity to do that, I'm so grateful for, because even making it to that point, you're already leaps and bounds ahead of so many other people who sit at home thinking about doing it.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And I believe that the fear of not doing is actually greater than the fear itself. That's something that I live by. So like you're right, like taking that leap of faith and just trusting, like, look, I know like I'm nervous right now, but this is something that, you know what I'm saying, I have a strong burning desire to pursue. And sometimes you gotta just go for it, man, and just trust and live with the results. Like we have a technique in acting, like when I was in class, and like pretty much it's like you do and you prep and you do the work, and then once it comes time for like a showcase or you're doing a scene or whatever the case may be, or an audition, you have to believe and trust that you've done the work enough that you just let it go, you just release it and allow, you know what I'm saying, your work, who you are, to speak for itself.
Right. That's funny. I remember hearing Michael Jackson say almost the same thing about dancing, how the idea of thinking
Mm-hmm.
is so unimportant when it comes to dancing, that you just have to let yourself do the thing that you're going to do. And when you start overthinking it, is when your confidence gets low and you start kind of analyzing yourself and critiquing yourself. And at that
Mm-hmm.
moment, that's not what you need. You need to perform.
Right. Man, you just brought up one of my favorite, if not, yeah, one of the greatest entertainers of all time. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. He's actually heavily influenced me in my career. So the fact that like if he's saying that, and I totally concur. I totally concur because we us as humans, man, like we just have this thing where we get in our own way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I guess it's a part of us being human, but it's like we just have to lean into God and just lean into our abilities, you know what I'm saying, of trusting in the fact that like, yo, we've done enough, you know what I'm saying, and just let it go and just be, you know what I'm saying, just live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I try to do each and every day, is just try to stay present in terms of whatever I have going on, whether it's an audition, whether it's me doing a commercial shoot, whatever I got going on. But yeah, it's just really just trusting in that aspect of it. And I believe that's what allowed us to really kind of, I would say, shine in terms of like the whole experience with Family Feud, because man, you already know once those lights hit you, boy, Christian, it's go time. You gotta
Oh, that's
be,
it. Yep.
man, I'm talking about that adrenaline kicks in. Like it's
That,
a natural high. Like
it,
it's the craziest thing. Like I truly, and I'm sure you probably feel the same way. Like I would want every human being to experience that type of feeling.
oh, yeah, just once. Everybody just
Just
have it
once.
once. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's nothing like it. And
There's
it's funny.
nothing.
I wonder if you have this insight, but when I get ready to do a show,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like, and I hope this doesn't sound any kind of way. I don't really like talking to the people around me before the show. I sort of find that I conserve my energy and then
Yep.
I let it out when it counts.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially in a game show setting where the people that you're talking to may be people that you're playing against. And, you know, I'll be
Yeah.
damned if I'm going to let them, reduce my energy so that I get up there, I'm tired, and they have their energy and they beat me. You know what I mean? But just in
Right. Right.
general, like from a performance standpoint, I really find that it helps to just sort of, I kind of sink into myself and I get a little meditative, a little, quiet and reflective. And then, like you said, when those lights hit, I'm good to go. I don't even eat before a show. I'll be honest with you. I really try not to eat. Oh yeah, I can't. I can't do it.
I feel you. I feel you. Now I'm the same way. I'll maybe snack like earlier on. I'll probably get a good meal like earlier on. But yeah, right before the show, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. If I'm about to go on stage, like perform, like nah. It's just because for me, I kind of want that hunger to build up. You know what I mean? And I'm
Right.
definitely like you in terms of I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to be in my own space, just my own private time to just really, really lock in and really just deliver the best performance that I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And just be able to live with the results, at the end.
What is the significance of your name, Obu? What does it mean?
It means conqueror.
And so your full name is Obu, Obu, Obu.
Yes.
And
yes.
I wonder if this is true or not, but I can see that as a decision on your father's part, that when people say your name, they have to say that 3 times in a row. They have to say it again, and he is a conqueror and a conqueror and a conqueror.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Most people that I meet, and even my friends, they tease me all the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get that. I get that all the time. It's a story of my life, man. Yeah, they do. They have fun with it. I can say that.
How is Dad doing, by the way?
So Dad is in a special place. He actually passed away earlier this year, a few months ago, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no. It's okay. It's okay. That's a part of the reason why I actually wanted to engage in this opportunity with you. Because he had a major part in the success of our experience. And just dating back to like the origin of how it all came about, like with my name, my grandfather started a tradition in my family where the second son gets the name Obu. So my dad, he is a second son. So he was a second son. So he's named Obu Obu. And I'm a second son. So obviously my name is Obu Obu. And God willing, if I have a second son, we're going to carry on the family tradition, baby.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, it was a big loss for us. But we know that we're comforted by, what I'm saying, by the Almighty. So we just been trying to just stay, surrounded and prayed up and just being there for one another. And just we know that life goes on, you know what I'm saying? Fortunately. So we got to just continue to carry on their legacy. And he's still with us, man. He's still with us in the spirit.
Oh, absolutely. And not to mention, what an incredible memory you have watching that video of not only the show, but, the introduction, that first few minutes when Steve Harvey learns what your name is, it's safe to say it went viral, right?
Yes, it did. And to give you a timeline, because I always love putting things into perspective. Like, so I'm gonna be honest, what the world saw, none of that was planned, Christian. The only thing that we planned, I don't know if you got a chance to see the whole video. The only thing was planned was just the song. Right?
Oh, I have seen the whole video like 50 times. My mom, first of all, my mom is so excited that I'm talking to you today.
Oh, man.
I've done like 50 of these. And I said, Mom, guess who I'm talking to? Remember that kid Obu that was in that video that you saw? And she went, she freaked out.
Oh, man. God bless.
I've seen it so many times. It's one of my favorite videos. Absolutely. Man. Yeah, please tell me everything about the backstory behind that. It didn't seem like it was planned. You know what I mean? Steve Harvey's a talented comedian, and I think that's part of his role there, is to identify things that can be funny and to sort of extract that. You know what I mean? And it seemed very genuine. Tell me what you remember about that moment.
Yes, absolutely. So when we get on stage, so first of all, before we got on stage, remember how I told you that they do only 4 shows a day at the time, right?
Right.
So
for families,
correct. For families that battle against each other, that compete. Yes. So we're there all day, and we're like, okay, all right, we're gonna today's the day. We're going on today. First round of families go. All right, cool. No sweat. Yo, we still got time. There's three other rounds. We got this. Second round goes. Okay, nah. All right. So we're getting nervous at this point because there's only 2 more shows left. So the third show goes around. I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, Christian. When they called the last round for the shows, for the families, I told myself, I said, it's us. I said, it's us. And they called our name and we were like, okay, let's go. I'm talking about Christian. I had a moment with myself. It was like, oh, boo. Like that pep talk. I said, look, it's now or never. It's now or never.
Right.
You can fold right now, or you can rise and be great and dominate and make this like a lasting, you know what I mean, experience. And that's exactly what we did. So we were the last show on the second day when we got there. That's how crazy and divine, like God's timing and alignment was so important, because we were, I'm gonna be honest, we were nervous. I'm gonna be honest, like we were nervous because we wasn't sure, but in that moment, like right before they called, I'm like, all right. So when we get on the show, obviously he's going through the names, and I'm gonna be honest, man, like he looked and he was really, he was like, your first name is Obu, and your last name is Obu.
Right.
Man, I'm talking about, like, we were so thrown off. I was like, but all right. So look, all right. Before I continue. So I gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you this part. So
sure.
I knew, because I follow Steve Harvey. Like, I'm a huge fan. He's a mentor. I really admire his work and what he does for the community and his life and everything. Just how he grew into his success. It's truly admirable.
Yeah.
So, but guess what? I knew that if we're going on the show, this guy is a comedian. So I already knew I was going to be a prime target. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
right.
I said, whatever he says, I told myself, I said, Lord, just let me have the thickest skin. I said, whatever he says, I'm okay with. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I was just going to let it ride, because I already know, like, comedians, they're built for those types of moments. So I already knew that it was probably going to be a play on joke, because, mind you, I've been going through this my whole life. Like, people are in disbelief when I tell them my name. Like, they can't believe it. Most people just don't even believe me. They think I'm an alien. They think I'm made up. Like, yo, come on, stop playing with me, bro.
Right, and you had your license ready to go. You said that's the process that you go through.
Right. Every single time. So, like, it was just a beautiful moment that we had, and that just wasn't planned, because he just looked at me. He was like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be serious. And then my sister, I didn't even tell my younger sister, my baby sister, Ibum. I didn't even tell her to say that. She was like, you can ask him what his middle name is. And then, you know what I'm saying? It was just a moment. And he was like, we ain't doing a damn thing till we find out. I'm like, yo, Steve, you're not ready, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
I was trying to prep him, but he wasn't Christian. He wasn't ready, man. So, I had to tell him the truth.
Right.
Obviously, the rest was history. So yeah, he really couldn't believe it, man. But Steve,
well, you know what's funny? I noticed that when you said you want to see my license, he said, no, that's okay. But then I think he realized that I can get a couple more minutes out of this. Do you have it on you? And you took it out, and it went from there.
Right.
I'm telling you, like, that video, like, I love it, not only because it's entertaining, right? But also because I admire that role of game show host. Like, that's honestly, like, if we're going to talk about dreams and about real stuff, that is what I've wanted to do my entire life. That's been my lifelong dream, is to have that role, you know, because I grew up watching that kind of TV, and I grew up idolizing those people that were in those roles. And I wanted to be that person that always knew what to say, knew how to dress, knew how to lead a conversation, do all those things. And so the video is great because it's funny and it's entertaining, and your family is incredibly entertaining, but also it's a chance to see a really good host do a really good host thing like that. You know what I mean? You take a complete stranger, you identify something that you can take and turn into 5 minutes of comedy. You know what I mean? That's like, to me, that's such an admirable skill.
Yes. And I'll tell you, I mean, it's already, the proof is already in the pudding. Like, his life is already evident of that. When I tell you, Steve Harvey is one of the masters of just being alive in the moment. Like, he's so quick on his feet, and he said it. So in between, when we're not filming, he's out there joking with the crowd, messing with the crowd. We were taking pictures. He was talking to us, pouring into us. Like, he was just being hilarious, man. So, like, he really has a true gift, and just host, like special host in general, anybody that has the ability to host in general, that is a God-given skill set that I believe that everybody, you know what I'm saying? I do believe that it can be developed, but some people are just born and naturally gifted with those type of abilities. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, it's an ability to communicate,
Yes.
and I found that in my everyday life that the concepts behind being a game show host are so applicable to everyday life. Like I work in hospitality by day. I'm a hotel manager, and
Okay.
I
Nice.
have noticed that between those two skill sets, they have a lot of things in common. I mean, you're being that welcoming voice, right? You're being that person that is that first point of contact, makes you feel welcome. You're communicating information. God forbid there's an emergency. You're the one that is putting that information out there for people in a way that doesn't panic them, but informs them.
Right.
It's just that ability to communicate in any circumstance, in any situation that I grew up thinking that is like the ultimate life skill. Like I want to do that. I want to be able to do that. Everything that I've done in my life has been with the goal of sharpening those skills, as I'm sure you can relate to as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, and just to add on to everything that you said, and like even being a game show host is very, very vital, you know what I'm saying, in that world, because you control the environment to a certain degree. Like you are in control, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to adapt to any circumstance, any situation. So it's definitely, you know what I'm saying, like I commend any game show host because it's not easy. Like it is not an easy thing. Like it takes
No,
time
yeah.
to you know what I'm saying, to really hone in and sharpen those tools. So like anybody, like even like I already hear it in your voice. Like you were born for this, bro. Like when I saw you, I'm like, man, this guy's incredible. Like I'm really not trying to toot your own horn. Like I really believe that because I saw it and I'm just like, yo, this guy, he's special. I'm like, there's something special about this guy. And I was just like, man, so that just got me even more excited to even just sit down and talk with you, because just to share this experience, this is a very, very unique, you know what I'm saying, space that we're in when it comes to like game shows, and when it comes to even like the fact that you created your own platform to do this, bro. Like I just want to thank you, man, because this isn't a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody has this type of platform where that you give opportunities for others to just come on here and just speak and kind of just have a conversation and all of that good stuff. But yeah, but just back to the game host, like it's a very, very like special skill set, man, that I see it in you, Steve Harvey for sure, and just certain people. It's amazing to watch, like because you just let them go. You know what I'm saying? And they just have a ball and just
Well,
enjoy. And it's always good.
I mean, yeah, I mean that is high praise. I can't tell you how much I appreciate hearing that. That is very high praise.
Of
And I
course.
think about, on a different level, I think about the idea of representation. I think about the people that I watched when I was younger. As much as I idolized, their way of speaking and their way of dressing and their way of leading conversations, there wasn't anyone who looked like me. As a person of color, there wasn't anyone out there who I felt represented, who I was in that way. Now I think about TV and I think about how I think the hosts of the most popular game shows on TV are all people of color. You have Steve Harvey, Wayne Brady, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
It's incredible how far we've come in terms of that type of representation. And I'm sure that means something to you as well, being in that space.
Oh, absolutely. Having that representation, man, that you give the opportunity for others that come after you to have a purpose and to be able to dream. You know what I'm saying? Like having that representation just allows us to build a community. You know what I'm saying? Where we can empower each other, we can uplift each other, and we can show each other that anything is possible. I know it sounds like it's such a cliche, but like I'm really big on affirmations. So it's like I really believe like having that representation just gives us the inspiration and the motivation to be able to do and seek out anything that we truly desire. And it's like, you got to believe it. So it's like, if one person can do it and they've shown you the proof and they've laid out the blueprint, even though I do understand that everybody's process and everybody's journey is different, but having that reputation just gives you and a resource. You know what I mean? It just gives you a resource of somebody that you can study after. You know what I'm saying? That has gone before you, that has done, hey man, this is what you need to look out for. You don't go this route, or you can go this route, or you could do it this way. You know what I mean? So it's just like you can spin it so many different ways, but I really feel that having that representation, like you said, is very, very critical in our community.
Oh, for sure. Let's talk a little bit more about the game itself. So the intro is done, and now you're in the middle of playing the game. How well did your family do at the game itself, at playing the game?
Man, all right, man. I'm gonna try not to get emotional, bro. But I'm kidding. But so I'm gonna be honest, man. We were winning the whole game. Christian, we were dominating the entire game. I'm just gonna say it. You can fact check me. I stand on that.
Sure. And it was practicing playing the game. You think that helped?
Oh yeah, big time. So look, all right, so man, I'm having such a good time. I just got to say that real quick. So the whole preparation aspect to how we even got to that point so we were playing the game, and in the preparation phase, like when we were even practicing for Fast Money, this is like how we thought. So we paired each other, you know what I'm saying, with like, okay, so who kind of thinks the same? And we tested that out. Right. So we found out that me and my older brother, we think just alike. So, all right. So when we did that, I'm like, one person will go first for 20 seconds and the other person will go for, you know what I'm saying, for 25 seconds. And I'm like, all right, bro, we can't go together because we think too much alike. So we literally were mixing and matching with each other, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out the best compatibility between our siblings that made enough sense when we got on the show. So when we were playing, we already had it figured out of who was going to be doing the Fast Money and all of that. Unfortunately, we did not win. I know probably the audience listening or whoever has seen the show, the actual show, we did not win the game, but we were winning the entire time. And it got to a question in the third round where I will never forget. This is where I was saying I get a little emotional, because the question that took us out was the third round. There's only 4 answers on the board. It's name something that you pick. Right? So name something that you pick. There's only 4 answers on the board. I think at this point it was like 176 to like 0. That's how traumatized I am.
Right. I'm sorry if this brings up any repressed memories.
Nah, you're good. I'm just teasing. Like we gotten over it. Because it was a blessing overall. But
Sure.
So it was name something that you pick, right? So you pick your nose, right?
Of course.
You pick your nose. You pick fruit, right? You pick fruit. Okay, cool. You pick flowers, right? So there's only one answer left, Christian. What might that be? So we huddled up. It's like, all right. And mind you, now it's our chance. Now it's our chance to steal. It's our chance to steal. So we were like, okay, you pick your teeth or you pick at a scab, right? We thought that man, I ain't gonna lie, we thought it was it. We thought one of those answers was it.
Right. Teeth is what I would have said. Right.
Right. So we were like, okay, all right. So the most rational answer, and mind you, okay, so during the show, the producers always comes up to us like, all right, think like regular average Americans. These are regular people. So we always try to keep that in mind the entire time. So we're like, all right, so you pick a teeth or you can pick a scab. Got to be either or. So our family, we voted on it. We was like, all right, let's go with teeth. Let's go with teeth. It just makes the most sense. We go with teeth. Steve Harvey says, teeth. They take all our points.
Right.
It was like the greatest upset.
Oh my God. It was the last answer of the last question.
Right. And guess what that answer was?
What was it?
You pick a banjo, a guitar pick.
Oh, stop it.
Bro, I'm telling you. I know, bro.
Stop
I know,
it.
Man.
You don't pick a banjo, you pluck a banjo.
Right. Man, when I tell you we were so devastated, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm just being honest with you. Like, man, we cried because we was like, man, we're not gonna we lost our chance to get the 20,000. Because I ain't gonna lie, bro. But mind you, we got money for doing the show, so we're grateful for that. Like, we thank God for that. But we just gave that money to our mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just blessed her with the money. We're like, here, you take it. It's all yours. But man, like we were heartbroken. And what made it even a little bit worse in that moment was the fact that when the other family did the fast money, Christian, it was so, I don't want to say it was easy, but the way we had practiced and the way we prepped, because we were kind of doing the fast money as they were doing it just to make sure that, yo, we would have, you know what I'm saying? You always have
you would have knocked it out.
Man, we would have killed it. We would have bodied that. We would have, you know what I mean? So we was like, man, but they had a very, very, it was like all the questions were fair. Like you can answer it. It was like easy questions, like easy enough and reasonable questions enough to where we probably would have got at least the number 1, number 2 answers. That's how, you know what I mean? That's how the flow went. Because guess what? The other family, they won the 20,000. They won fast money.
Right. And you would have.
Absolutely. But it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the other family. This is no hate. This is no shade.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just poking fun, but like we love the other family. The other family were amazing, and we had a good time doing the show. But that was that was a play-by-play. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to the wire, where bro, it was devastating. And you know what's so funny? So I do want to share this. Yeah. It was so funny because we were so butthurt about the experience. We were like, man, we just embarrassed ourselves in front of. I'm like, oh my God, we can't do. Oh my God, like we were going crazy. And when everything started taking off, when it aired, so it aired 2016, October 2016, it aired for the first time. So we sat around as a family and watched it together. It was just, even watching it like together, like on live TV was probably one of the greatest feelings in the world, bro. Oh, Christian, it was one of the greatest feelings ever. To just sit around and watch it with my family. And then it didn't start to go viral until February, March of 2017. So literally like the next year, it started to go viral. So the reason why I brought that up was because in that moment, we were so devastated about losing the money. But then we had a realization. We were like, guys, like I was talking to my family, it was like, it wasn't about the money.
No.
God always tries to prepare you for something greater. So it was more so the exposure and the lives that we touched, the joy that we shared. You know what I'm saying? The love that we, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Listen, God presents blessings in ways that you do not always expect.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It'll be in a different wrapper, but it is when you open it up and it turns out it's what you needed.
Yep. So that was like our way of kind of, God really settled our hearts. Because obviously, man, we didn't plan. I'm gonna be honest, we didn't plan for any of this. We couldn't imagine any of this happening at the time. Like when we were seeing the numbers go up, I'm talking about like we were losing our minds. I'm like, bro, like I got hit up by so many people all over the world, Christian. Like
tell me about that part of it. I want to know who reached out to you and what opportunities you received as a result of this like sudden sort of viral fame.
Man, so people from like London, Jamaica, over like Canada, like random strangers, just the legend, Obu, your family was incredible, man. Your dad was so amazing. Like I'm talking about memes. Like they were creating memes around my family. They were creating memes around like my dad. Like it was the most humbling but gratifying and satisfying. Like it was indescribable. It was indescribable, Christian. Like because we didn't plan that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know, like it was just so organic. It was so authentic. And just the moment that we shared on that platform with Steve Harvey, like that's our guy. Like we can't wait to meet him again, like see him again. Well, we actually met him again. So I didn't even tell you this part. So
tell me.
So after we got hit up, we were in articles, we were in blogs, we were like in everywhere, like Shade Room. Everybody was posting us. My family were calling, like my uncles, my aunts, like cousins, everybody was blowing us up. My followers were going crazy, like on social media platforms. It was nuts. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like random people, like women were reaching out. Like I'm just like, all right, I had to take a break. I'm like, because the love, like
Lord
people
have mercy,
man. Like women were trying to marry me, and it was crazy. I'm like, yo, you gotta relax. I don't even know you. Like, yo,
right.
Doing?
I didn't say stop, but
right. But it was just so overwhelming, like. And I was just taking it all in. But so the craziest thing happened. So that whole moment went on. A lot of people don't know a few, like 2 years after, well, No, a lot. Like I don't want to misspeak. So it was, I think, the next year. So 2017, it went crazy. It went viral to the world. We were getting hit up. Oh, we almost got a chance to do the Ellen show, but we were so upset because we wanted to be on Ellen so bad. Like my lady, she's a huge fan of Ellen. But we didn't get to do the Ellen show, but we did like a few interviews after that, like as a family,
Right.
on certain platforms that reached out, you know what I'm saying, that just wanted to connect with us and, to network and stuff like that. And they just loved our family. So I got hit up, like people wanted to do photo shoots for me, like for free. Like they were just hitting me. Like it was overwhelming. So the next year, 2018 comes around, right? Family Feud reached out again. So mind you, it was really 2016 where we shot it. So 2 years later, right? So from the time that we shot in 2016, it went viral 2017. The producers hit us up again in 2018, Christian.
Okay.
They said that they were going through and they were doing like an anniversary of the most memorable families within like the decade, I believe, something like that. Don't quote me on that. But it was like they wanted to select, they were hand selecting the families that were the most memorable on their platform. And they were going to bring us out again. So they flew us out to California to do the show again.
Wow.
So we actually did the show twice. A lot of people don't know that, because every year it's funny because every year I randomly get followers on my social media platform, and when I know like random strangers are following me, I'm like, okay, yeah, our show just aired.
Right, the rerun happened somewhere.
Yeah, the
right,
rerun
right,
just
right.
happened. Like I already know, you know what I'm saying? And it is just the funniest thing now because I already know, like it's just that's what comes with it. That's what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? You just embrace it. And you know what else I've embraced? Like my life hasn't been the same. And I'm sure you know what I'm saying, you can relate, but my life hasn't been the same since Family Feud. And I told myself, I said, all right, man, because when like where I work, like even like with my colleagues, like everybody that I work with, like my family, when I meet like random strangers and stuff like that, when I say my name, or they're like, wait, you're the guy from Family Feud. Like there was a guy that was on Family Feud and he had just the same name. His name was Obu, Obu, Obu. Then his dad was like, Obu. Like they literally give me the play-by-play, you know what I'm saying, experience. I'm like, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I be messing with them, man. I be like, really? I said, no. I said, wait, he had the same name. And I pull out my license. I'm like, literally, Obu, Obu, like this? And he was like, yeah, that's. I said, yo, that's me. He's like, no way, bro. Like they lose their minds because I like playing with people like that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just for that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, bro. So it was amazing. Like, so yeah, we got flown out, which was amazing. We did the show again, 2018. But yeah, man, my life hasn't been the same. Like I like literally just the other day, like one of the craziest moments I wanted to share with you was I was at the airport. I forgot where I was going. I think me and my girl, we were going to like San Diego, somewhere in California. And obviously you got to go through TSA. So the TSA guy, he looks at my ID. And he was like, wait. Yo, were you on? I know this name, Abu. Like, were you on Family Feud? I was like, mind you, like, you know what I'm saying? It's crowded. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to make a scene. I'm like, I'm not that type of person. I don't even like the attention like that. And I said, yeah, man. You know, that's me. I was on Family Feud. He was like, dude, I freaking love that, bro. Your family was the best family I've ever seen on Family Feud. Mind you, this is the TSA agent. So they're not allowed to like do certain things or react certain ways. He was like, yo, bro, can we take a picture real quick? I said, of course, bro. Like, yeah, man, no worries.
That's amazing.
So
that's amazing. What a surreal experience that is.
Man, he had to sneak the picture because he was gonna get fired because he can't take pictures.
But it's worth it. That's Obu. I'll get fired for that.
Man, it was crazy, man. So we snuck the picture and took it, and then the whole time I'm in the line, everybody's looking around like, yo, who is this guy? Like, what does he do? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like one of those moments, man. It was humbling, bro. It was amazing. It was awesome.
Oh, that's incredible.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's, I've talked to dozens of people who have been on game shows. I started doing this podcast in November of last year, and I haven't stopped. It's been every week since then. And I've talked to so many people that have, like, it's really spanned like the history of TV. Like I've talked to people that were on shows 50 years ago. I've talked to people like you who were on shows, 5 years ago. And one of the things that I find in common among all the experiences is that whether it's 5 years ago or 50 years ago, it's never less fun to talk about. These are memories that are like, that are forever. You know what I mean? There's no expiration date on these memories. Like it's always fun to look back on because they're such positive experiences, and to hear how the experience changed your life for the better and how it enabled you to come closer to the things that you truly wanted to do in life. So inspirational. I don't know if anyone has ever told you that aspect of it, just how inspirational it is to see your family be so revered and loved for being themselves. For you to get the affirmation, having a unique name like that, and just having that name blow up in that way, you know what I mean? That just has to feel. I mean, I'm inspired even just like hearing about it.
Oh man, thank you, Christian. Yeah, like when it went crazy and like when people were reaching out, like we received so much love. Like it was just an abundance. We couldn't believe it. Like we were speechless, man. So like just even from you, from coming onto your platform and you speaking that life upon us, man, it's mutual. Just know the feeling is mutual, Christian. I gotta say that first. The feeling is mutual because you're definitely inspirational within yourself, and kudos and congrats to your platform, to your podcast, your show. So that's amazing in itself. That's bold. You know what I'm saying? It's unique. So I just want to give you your high praise and commend you for everything that you have going on. But yeah, man, it was just thank you, bro. It was just amazing. Like I can't take the credit. I give all the credit to God because a seed was planted in that moment that we didn't realize that was going to change lives forever. And that's genuinely how we feel. And it's funny because I've embraced it a while now. I'm just being funny, but I've embraced the fact that I'm forever going to be known as that guy from Steve Harvey show. Hey, the guy from Family Feud. And I love that, because it's like, it's a moment. And it's like, I never get tired of talking about it because it's funny because my lady, she asked me, she was like, babe, like, do you ever get like annoyed or like frustrated? Cause like, I'm gonna be honest, Christian, like a lot of, like to this day, like literally, I traveled, we went to a wedding in Chicago. We was in Chicago for the first time, for a wedding. And one of like the groom's, the groom's sister, she recognized me from Family Feud, and literally it was a whole moment. This literally just happened a few days ago. It just happened Saturday. Right. So it's like it's a never-ending process. You know what I'm saying? But people feel connected to you. And I told my lady when she asked me that question, I said, babe, I can never get tired of it because it's always going to be somebody's first experience and their first encounter with you. So that impression, I'm big on that first impression because it's an everlasting memory. So I always keep in the back of my mind how I want to be remembered. Do I want to be remembered as that a-hole or as that douchebag that was so frustrated or annoyed, that was just so like, I don't want to talk about that. That's so old. Or do I want to give you like the best part of me? You know what I'm saying? Like the genuine side, the love, you know what I'm saying, that I exude, because I do walk in love, man. So I express that, and I always tell anybody, like, I never get tired of it. I love it. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't. So here's just me. I don't go around just like this, like saying that I was on the show and da. It's really only when people find out who I am, because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And some people know, like, I'm an actor and I've done some stuff. I have a featured film out right now on Amazon Prime. Just so certain people, they start to notice, and I'm just like, man, this is pretty cool. You get that small glimpse of like, wow, man, like this is amazing. Like people remember you, you know what I'm saying? People remember how you made them feel, and they're not afraid to let you know. So just to even be that inspiration, you know what I'm saying, for you, for millions of people around the world, even for yourself as well, because you're in that boat, to have that, man, I wouldn't trade it for the world, bro. I would not, and I really feel blessed. I really feel blessed to be a part of this life, to be a part of this world. And I just want to continue to increase my impact and my influence, you know what I'm saying, through God, through love, through treating people right, you know what I'm saying, being a blessing to others, and just sharing that positivity, you know what I'm saying, with the world. So here we are, man.
Tell Us About Yourself. Conversations with Game Show Contestants is hosted, produced, and edited by me, Christian Carrion, from my studio in beautiful downtown Lancaster City, Pennsylvania. Co-executive producer Cory Anotado. Researcher Chuck Donegan. This has been a production of BuzzerBlog, the most popular game show website in the world, in partnership with the National Archives of Game Show History at the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York. For more information, visit museumofplay.org. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Christian Carrion. Good night. Tell Us About Yourself. Conversations with Game Show Contestants is produced in partnership with the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York, one of the largest history museums in the United States and one of the leading museums serving families with highly interactive exhibits and programs. Since 1968, the Strong Museum has been dedicated to exploring the ways in which play encourages learning, creativity, and discovery, and how it illuminates cultural history. And their National Archives of Game Show History. Founded by industry veterans Bob Bowden and Howard Blumenthal, the archive is home to thousands of artifacts representing over 80 years of broadcasting, including props, set designs, video interviews with game show professionals, and other iconic elements from the history of television at play. For more information about the National Archives of Game Show History or the Strong National Museum of Play, visit museumofplay.org or call area code 585-263-2700.
Hello.
Hey, Ma.
Hey, baby.
Hey, I'm in the middle of doing my game show podcast. You know, the podcast that I do where I talk to contestants and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I have somebody who wants to say hi to you.
Okay.
All right, hold on. All right, go ahead.
Hey, Mama. It's Obu from Family Feud. How you doing?
OMG.
Hey, Mama. Hey, Queen. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm good. Oh, I love the fact that your father named all of them. That's so awesome. This is really you?
Yes. I've just been talking to your son, Christian, man. You guys are amazing. He told me so much about you just in our conversation and how much you just enjoyed the show and all of that good stuff. So I just wanted to just come on here and just say my greetings.
Oh, thank you so much. This is really cool. Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am.
What's so cool? I think I'll be the only one who love it. You don't know how that was like, that thrilled me. When, especially when you're going to say, named you, my father. And he goes, what's your name, sir? Okay.
Yeah.
What a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, it's such a pleasure to speak with you.
Where are you at? Where do you live?
I live in Georgia at the moment. Yeah, I was raised down. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is really cool.
Yes. No.
Come on, you know what that means, right? Ma, you know what this means?
What?
I made it.
Yes, sir.